Everyone, this is Norma. Today I'm going to do something a little different. Let me tell you about Daxie's Delights. They are a cookie that has caramel and apples and oats and just yummy goodness in it. And when Daxie brought me these cookies, she found them up in Georgia, North Carolina, somewhere up in there. And she says, "You've got to make these." So I pulled apart the cookie, tasted it, looked to see what was in it, and eventually she brought me 6 more so I could really get into them and figure out what was in these things. Anyways, I did, and they were very similar to the originals. The only thing was they had these caramel chips in it, similar to chocolate chips that had that crunch. Anyways, I went online, went local, went everywhere. And the only thing when I put in caramel chips in as a search or anything, all that would come up with these caramel bits from Kraft. It's these things, and they look like this. And when they bake in the cookie, they bake up really, really creamy and melty. But they really gave the flavor that I needed for the thing. Well, recently, every year or every few months, I go online and I look up caramel chips just to see if something's come up. Well, recently I found these. Now, if you look at them, they look like chips, like a chocolate chip would, but they actually come out looking like these. So they're kind of flat and big and everything. So I actually cut them up so that they're smaller. And then I have these. So what I'm doing today is I am baking using the recipe, using this one, and I'm going to bake it using the recipe, this one. And then I'm going to see which one is better, because this one here is like a chocolate chip. I just had to cut it up because they're so big. So we'll see how it turns out. I'm also trying out 2 different apples. The original one had dried apples in it, but you can't find dried apples, at least not expensive dried apples. And Daxie really prefers fresh apples anyways, because she says it makes the cookies taste fresher. We'll go with that since they're her cookies. So anyways, I usually use a Granny Smith apple, which is a tart apple. Everybody knows these. These are the ones that apple pies are usually made out of. Except that I am going to throw in a Fuji apple. Now, Fuji apples are sweet. My son's very favorite. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix them and chop them up really, really tiny, because that's what I have to do anyways. But I'm going to mix part Fuji and part Granny Smith and see how that turns out. Hey everyone, okay, the cookies are done, so here's all the yummy goodness. This one right here, these are the ones made with the caramel bits, and as you can see, they get all melty on the bottom. And then these are the ones that are made with, let's pick a really good one here, with the other ones. And as you can see, there's nothing melty on the bottom. So these are made with the chips, the new chips. And this one here is made with the caramel bits. So first thing I want to let you know is that when I took them out of the oven, the caramel bits ones I can't remove from the tray until they completely cool, because the caramel sticks and we don't want that. Whereas these, I was able to pull them right off. Well, I waited a minute because they get really soft, and so I have to wait until they firm up a bit before I can pull them off. Otherwise we'll have broken cookies and we don't want to do that. So just go ahead and pop a cookie open. And now I've already tasted these, and I'm not liking the ones with the chips in them because they're almost non-existent. I couldn't taste the caramel, and there was no crunch. So that's the biggest thing. And I may have to go ahead and try them again, but using the whole chip, and see if that makes a difference. But as far as the taste, it's definitely the ones with the caramel bits in them, because you can really taste the caramel. And whereas the other ones, you just can't It's just not there. You just can't taste the caramel in it at all. And that kind of defeats the purpose of the cookie. And the apples really didn't make a change in the flavor. The apples were just apples. It just did not make a change. So it really doesn't matter whether I change the apples or not. Or switch or put the two different apples in it. It just tasted appley. So my thing is stick with the caramel until I can figure out what to do, until I try the caramel chips as wholes and see if that makes any difference. So there ends my experiment for the day. Thank you all for watching. Bye.